boys and girls. It's Miss Lisa here. Today I'd like to talk to you about a new artist. His name is Alexander Calder. He's an artist that makes sculptures. He makes some that stay still, and he makes some that move. They either move with wind, or his hand, or sometimes motorized. I'd like to make a version of his mobile with you today. We're going to use primary colors and geometric shapes. That's very similar to what Alexander Calder did when he made his first mobiles. Do you remember what the primary colors are? Let's review them. Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Remember, red, yellow, and blue. And the primary colors make up all the colors in the rainbow. Remember, they're magical, so they make up all the colors in the rainbow. Red, yellow, and blue. We're going to use geometric shapes, and you'll learn about them soon, and if you haven't learned about them already. Some of them that we're going to use today is I'd like to use some circles, maybe an oval, a square, maybe a triangle, and a rectangle. You can choose which shapes you'd like to use. Look around the house, see if you can trace some shapes. Sometimes the bottom of a cup can help you make a circle, or a box of Jell-O will help you make a square. Whatever you can find is good for me. And if you can't find any shapes to trace, just cut the paper as if you were making a shape, and you might create a new shape and name it. Name it whatever you want. So to get started, we're going to need some items. If you have some construction paper, try to find some red, maybe some blue, and a little yellow. I use construction paper that I've used already because I don't like to waste. You should know that about me. I like to recycle, reuse. Okay? So I'm going to start cutting my shapes. I don't really need to trace, but if I did, I might use this cup. I might use the bottom for a small circle and the top for a big circle. You can make the circles two different colors, or you can make the circles the same colors. We're going to need 6 shapes when we're done. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 shapes. I'd like you to mix them up. Don't make the same shape. Make some circles, make some squares, make some triangles. You choose which shapes you'd like to use, but make them different. And use the 3 primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Okay? So let's get started. We're going to need the construction paper, 1 piece of plain white paper. We'll need our scissor for cutting. I'd also like you to get a marker or a black crayon. And we're going to need a glue stick. Now, I think my glue stick is empty, so I might need to find a new glue stick. Oops, sorry. Okay, so let's start with cutting our shapes. I'm going to make a blue square. You can just cut along, and if you can't cut, have somebody help you. I've got a blue rectangle, but I'm going to take this and save it for later because I don't want 2 of the same. I've already cut a triangle, so I have a yellow triangle. I'm going to use my red paper, and I think I'll make a red triangle. And that's real easy. I just cut the corner of a piece of paper. And here's a red triangle. 1 is big and 1's small, so that's 2. Here's a blue square. Maybe I'll make a yellow rectangle. Here's 3 and 4. I need 2 more shapes. I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to use this red paper, and I'm going to trace the bottom of this cup onto the red paper, and I'm going to cut out this circle. So I'm using my pencil to trace around. So you see I traced it, and now I'm going to cut it. So I have 1 circle, and I think I might make a bigger circle using the top part of this cup, and I'm going to make it blue. So I'm going to place the big circle on top, and I'm going to trace that now. I don't know if you could see that because it's such a dark piece of paper, but I've traced the circle, and now I'm going to cut the circle. This circle is going to be big. My other circle was small. So I have a big blue circle and a little red circle. The next thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to place them on my white piece of construction paper. Now I have to keep in mind that I'm recreating a mobile. The mobile is going to be flat, whereas Alexander Calder's were three-dimensional. They hung from the ceiling and you could see all around them. Ours is going to be flat, and we're only going to be able to see the front of it. So we have to keep in mind a mobile needs to be balanced. So think about, I'm a little teapot, short and spout. Here's my handle, here's my spout. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, just tip me over and pour me out. When they tip it over, it's no longer balanced. But when it's standing up straight, it's balanced. If I had 2 apples in this hand, in order to keep it balanced, I need 2 apples in this hand. That's balance. So we want to balance our shapes from one side of the paper to the other. So an easy way to do that is, let's take our construction paper and fold it in half. Do you remember how we fold in half? Corner meets corner. Hello corner, how are you? And the other corner meets this corner. Hello corner, how are you? We hold it in the middle, and we slide our finger down and fold in half. So now we have 2 sides of the paper. So I know that I could try to balance this side with shapes to this side with shapes. So if I put a small circle up here and a big circle, do you think that's balanced? I think it would fall over like this. So what do you think I would need to do to balance the red side with the blue side? Maybe if I add a small shape to the red circle. So if I had a red circle and a yellow rectangle, even though they're 2 small shapes, I think that will balance it out. I think so. But I'm going to separate them when I glue them down. So now they're balanced. And I'm going to do the same with the rest of my shapes. So play for a little bit, play with your shapes, rearrange them on the paper, mix the colors, and then we're going to glue them down. So let's get started. Get your glue sticks and start gluing. Okay. I'm gluing my pieces down. I hope you're doing the same. Keeping balance in your mind, because we want to try to keep this mobile balanced. So when it's up in the air, it's balanced. Even though this is a 2-dimensional, meaning flat, and Alexander Calder's mobiles were 3-dimensional. So I've glued down 3 of my pieces. Even though there's 2 on this side, they're 2 smaller pieces, and this is 1 large piece. So they are somewhat balanced.